Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be creating some masculine birthday cards featuring some color blocking. Now, color blocking is not super complicated. It's basically taking these large blocks of color and kind of putting them up next to each other. And a lot of times in color blocking, when you're talking fashion, they're either high contrast or bright colors. So today I've chosen a color palette that I've decided is decidedly masculine, and I am going to be creating my color blocking effects with this color palette. Now I'm starting out with the Concord and Ninth All the Birthdays stamp set, and I'm starting out with this large block happy word. Now this has an outline that I'll be stamping here in just a moment. And I'm starting in the center and I'm stamping this with the Stardust ink. Now this is kind of like a yellowy, greeny kind of ink. It's very unique and I think it pairs really beautifully with the colors that I've chosen today. So once I have this first image stamped, which you can think of as my first block of color because it has this really kind of rectangular shape to it overall, I'm going to take my cardstock in my MISTI and I'm going to bump it up about 1 5/8 inch. It's not quite 1 3/4 and it's not quite 1 1/2, so it's kind of right there in between, so about 1 5/8 inch. And they said you would never use fractions. I use them all the time in card making. And I've gone ahead and I've inked that up in some peacock ink and I've stamped that onto my cardstock directly below that Stardust block. So now I have these 2 blocks of color and I'm going to create the third block of color, and I'm using the Concord and Ninth Sorbet ink. Now, if I was going to name this color, I would actually name it probably Persimmon. It looks a little pink in the photos, but it is an orange ink. It's got a really nice warmth to it though. And that creates my third block of color. So now I am taking the outline image and I am lining it up with that first stamp on the top in that Sorbet ink. And I've offset it just slightly and I'm inking it up in the Concord and Ninth Mushroom. Yes, it is Mushroom. Mushroom ink, which is a really dark gray ink. And then once again, I'm going to bump this up about 1 5/8 inch and stamp it again. Now, I screwed up right here. I screwed up because I'm using a heavyweight cardstock and I did not press really super firmly on this image and I did not get a complete transfer. And that's because I'm working near the top of my MISTI and I almost threw this away and I thought, no, I'm going to see if I can save it. So I transferred this outline image to an acrylic block, inked it up in the mushroom ink, and voila, I saved my card. The day has been saved by a block. Now keep in mind, had I just moved this more towards the center of my MISTI, this would not have been a problem. So, you know, there's that. I make mistakes, but sometimes I can save them too. So now I have this really scripty birthday greeting that is also part of the All the Birthdays stamp set from Concord and Ninth, and I'm inking it up in Dove ink. So you can see my color palette building up here. I have the Stardust, the Sorbet, the Peacock, I have Mushroom, which is that dark gray, and then I have Dove, which is this lighter gray. And I'm stamping it right across the top part of that peacock colored happy sentiment there. And I'm going to kind of offset this and emboss over the top. And before I do that, I want to make sure all this ink that is on the card front is dry. So I hit it with a heat tool and then I prepped the surface using my powder tool. And then I'm going to take this out of the corner and shift it down and to the right, just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to ink up that same sentiment in some VersaMark ink and stamp it onto my card front and then cover it with some Gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. And that's going to give me that offset look again and add a little bit of gold into this color palette, which if you know me at all, gold is a neutral and it must be on every card. So I'm just heat setting that, and then I am going to add a little bit of gold sparkle twine along the left side of this card front. This is just to add a little something to this card. I think a lot of times most of us probably struggle with masculine cards because we want to add something to them, but then we're afraid to add something to them because we don't want it to look feminine. And so I don't kind of restrict myself in that way. If I feel like it needs something, I'm going to add it. And if you think it's feminine, you can leave it off of your card. But I think this overall is a really great masculine card. Now I'm creating another block of color with some cardstock. And this is the Sea Glass cardstock from Concord and 9th. And I just have like about 1.5 inch strip that I've placed onto my card base. This is a top folding card base. It's cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5.5 inches to create that top folding A2 size card. And then I'm going to place that card front on there using some foam adhesive. Now this was another instance I felt like it just needed something else. And so I added some sparkling clear, not sequins, but confetti to this card front, and that finishes off the first color blocked masculine card. So let's move on to the next one. It is going to be a shaker card, and I am using the Coordinating All the Birthdays die set from Concord and 9th, and I'm positioning it onto a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock that's cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm holding that die in place with some purple tape as I run it through my Gemini Junior to die cut it. And this is going to create my shaker window on my card front. Now for this card, I'm going to create my color blocking using cardstock, and I'm using the same exact color scheme that I used in the first card, and I'm cutting varying widths of these coordinating cardstocks to place behind my shaker window to create this color blocking effect. So I have the Sea Glass, the Sorbet, the Stardust, and the Peacock cardstock all ready to position onto this panel of Neenah Solar White. Now you could use typing paper for this backer if you wanted to. I just grabbed a lighter weight Neenah Solar White cardstock and I covered it with some tape runner adhesive. I'm using the Gina K dot runner adhesive here. And I'm positioning these cardstock strips kind of at an angle. And once I have all of these positioned onto this cardstock, I'm going to flip this over and trim off the excess. Don't these colors, I mean, this color palette, I love this color palette, especially for a masculine card. If you wanted to push it a little more feminine, you could keep that Sea Glass and the Stardust and change that Sorbet to a pinker tone, like maybe the grapefruit, and that would push it a little bit more feminine and kind of lighten it up a little bit. But I think this is an absolutely beautiful color combination for a masculine card. So I've taken a piece of acetate and adhered it onto the back of this HB window using some liquid adhesive. And now I am just using that positive space of that B to hold the inner portions of the B in place. I don't know what those are called. They're just the middle parts of the B. While I adhere them onto the acetate using some more liquid adhesive. And you can see that color blocking looks absolutely beautiful behind the shaker window. Now to create my shaker card, I want this card front to have some dimension so that my shaker guts will move freely within it. I'm actually not using anything two-dimensional today, so I could have probably gotten away with a single layer of foam adhesive, but I'm doubling it up here because I didn't know that I was going to use some flat kind of confetti glitter. So that's what happens when you don't plan ahead. And let's not beat around the bush. I really like big cards, and so I have no problem with a little dimension in my life. So I'm taking these double layers of foam adhesive and I'm cutting them into some strips that will fit around the outside portion of the shaker window, and I'm making sure that the foam adhesive creates a frame wherein all the shaker guts can be contained. So those pieces of foam adhesive need to be touching each other. Now, once I have all of that foam adhesive on the back and it's all kind of touching each other where all those shaker guts can be contained, I'm going to work on a sentiment for the front of this card. So I'm prepping the surface of some vellum with my powder tool, and I'm stamping this happy birthday, which is a combination of two sentiments from the All the Birthdays stamp set from Concord and 9th. I've stamped that onto the vellum using some VersaMark ink, added my Gilded embossing powder from Brutus, Monroe, and then I heat set that. And I'm folding the edges of this strip around to the back side where this foam adhesive is and just pressing that onto the foam adhesive. So this vellum will be sandwiched between that card front and the foam adhesive and the card base. Now, before I put my shaker guts into the shaker wells, I'm going to go ahead and prep the sides of this adhesive. I have the backer still on it with a little bit of powder tool to keep everything from sticking to all the sides of that foam adhesive. And now I'm inking up this background stamp. It is a mesh background stamp from My Favorite Things. I'm inking that up with some VersaMark ink and stamping it onto this color blocked background that I've created. Now, I did want to mention this stamp is, I believe, no longer in production. I cannot find it anywhere to link. But the purpose of this is just to add a little bit of texture. So you can find a background stamp that just has some simple texture, stamp it onto your background using some VersaMark ink, and that's going to give you a nice tone-on-tone effect in the background. So now that I have everything ready to assemble, I'm going to go ahead and remove the backer from the foam adhesive and then fill the wells with some confetti from Tonic. This is some rose gold square confetti, or it could be considered really chunky glitter, I guess. And then I'm also going to use some like icicle circles as well, just to give this a lot of shine in the center of the shaker card. You can do it with the backer still on the foam adhesive, but I tend to knock the shaker guts out of the wells when I'm removing the foam adhesive if I do that after. So I've gone ahead and added some liquid adhesive to the back of the foam adhesive, and then I lined up my color blocked backer here and positioned that onto the back of this card front, and that creates my shaker element. Now I wanted to add one more element of color blocking to kind of continue it on to the card base. So I'm taking my card base here. Once again, it's a top folding A2 size card, and I'm adding some adhesive on the diagonal along the bottom right-hand corner of this card base. And I'm going to use some more of that peacock cardstock, and I've placed it at the same angle that the peacock cardstock is inside of the shaker window. Does that make sense? Words are hard today. Words are really hard. And that just continues that color blocking effect onto the card base and brings the base and the card front, or that shaker element, together. And I absolutely love the way that this masculine shaker card turned out. It's sparkly, but it is still decidedly masculine in my book. So sparkle doesn't mean non-masculine. Let's just agree on that, okay? There's confetti and sparkle for all the celebrations. So there you have it, a couple of masculine birthday card ideas using color blocking. I love this color palette for masculine cards, and I think I'll be using it more in the future. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in these projects in the description at YouTube, but head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Over there, you'll find more information, more still shots, and a complete list of supplies, and I'll be sure to link you to that in the YouTube description below. As always, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed these projects. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you won't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. And if you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you would share it with a friend as well. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.